I can hear you.
All right, good. I'm gonna mute out the mics before I get started. All right. All right, thanks for tuning in to my bi-weekly class by Hindsight Radio. Um, as you can tell, I have my screen up here that shows what days my show is on. It's on Tuesday at 7 p.m. every week and Thursday at 7 p.m. every week. And my son does a show on Fridays. All right, this lesson is going to be on the certificate of non-citizen national. I look at a lot of people's paperwork, people who are helping people get passports as nationals or state citizens. If you know me well, I don't subscribe to the state citizen passport. Um, and before I go into the actual lesson, I'll share my screen. Let me go to the North Carolina Constitution real quick. I know the screen is not showing just yet. I haven't gotten to the actual page that I want to show you. All right, and let me share that with you. All right, you should be looking at the North Carolina Constitution. Um, Let me unmute real quick. Can y'all see that?
Yep.
And somebody just give me a quick yes.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. I know it looks like, from my end, it looks like you can see it, but you never know with technology. All right, here we go. Down here, for those who want to there's a process called Copper Moon, and it basically tells you how to fill out the application and just check off no for your parents, sign it a certain way, and send the application in. If you go look at my video on YouTube, you'll see that that's not enough. The actual video is called "The Understanding the DS11." Go to my YouTube under Akeem L, Akeimel. Actually, I will pull it up. Um, is this my page? No, this is not the correct one. I have two of them, so bear with me. Move this around. All right. As y'all can see, I do a lot of studying. I got a bunch of windows open. Um, all right, let me share that. Um, this is my channel here. If that picture that's in the background, that I went to the Bahamas, and there was a restaurant that had this picture on the wall, and you can see the Aboriginals or the natives, and then you can see out on the water there the Christian ships coming in. I didn't. There's another part of this picture where it shows those ships coming in, and then it transformed to modern day, where people are in the churches that we know today. Um, I thought that was interesting. But here's the video right here. Understanding the DS11. Look at that video. That goes over everything. But let's go back to what we were going to discuss. Certificates of non-citizen nationals. Let's go. All right. You should be able to see that. Certificates of non-citizen nationals. Um, this is quite a long read, but I have to read the whole thing, and a lot of it is junk. Stuff that doesn't apply to you, but to understand the whole document, I have to read the whole thing. So let's go. All right, certificates of non-citizen nationality. This is the covenant or I want my certificate of non-citizen to show that I'm a non-citizen or I'm a national. So let's dispel with some myths and some misunderstandings when it comes to this certificate. All right, it says the Department of State occasionally receives requests for certificates of non-citizen national status pursuant to Section 341B of the Immigration and Nationality Act of the Immigration and Nationality Act 8 USC 1452B. As the title of the certificate indicates, only a person who is a non-citizen U.S. national, i.e., a U.S. national but not a U.S. citizen, may apply for such a certificate. See, there's wordplay here. It says only a person, right here, who is a non-citizen U.S. national, i.e., a U.S. national but not a U.S. citizen, may apply for such a certificate. Now, here's the trickery. Anytime you see the U.S. in there, in front of it, then it says, but not a U.S. citizen, that's still a U.S. citizen. See, they're playing with your mind here. All right? All right. And I'll prove it because it'll tell you. As defined by the INA, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, right? Okay, there it is. So let's go back up to the top. It says, as the title of the certificate indicates, only a person who is a non-citizen U.S. national, example, a U.S. national but not a U.S. citizen may apply for such certificate. So this is most people who read this stop right here and this is it. They forget that this U.S. is sticking right in there. And that's still a U.S. citizen. It just says, as defined by the INA, all U.S. citizens are U.S. nationals, but only a relatively small number of persons require U.S. nationality without becoming a U.S. citizen. Section 101A21 of the INA defines the term national as a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. Now, do you see the trickery right there? Now they give you, in quotations, national. Right? Notice that's lowercase. Every bit of it, lowercase. Right? When they talk about U.S. up here, they put it in uppercase. It didn't say U.S. national in front of it either. It said national. See, they're playing with you when you're looking at this. So you have to read the whole thing and read it several times. All right? It says the INA defines the term national as a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. Right here. Let's look up the word state. I didn't read to. I'll go back to the state citizen. I opened up that constitution. I kind of didn't go to that, but I'll go back to it later. All right, because I'm already in this form. All right, state definition. All right here it says state. The particular condition. The very first meaning of the word state is the particular condition that someone or something is in at a specific time, condition, shape, situation. Then the second meaning is country, nation, land, confederation. So it has two meanings, that lowercase state. So right here, it's talking about your status, your condition, your permanent allegiance to a foreign state from the U.S., okay? Section 101A22 of the INA provides that the term national of the United States includes all U.S. citizens as well as persons who, though not citizens of the United States, owe permanent allegiance to the United States, non-citizens nationals. So let's go back up to the document. Isn't that what they're trying to give you, a certificate of non-citizen nationality? And they're telling you that a non-citizen nationals owe permanent allegiance to the United States, right? So let's go to that. Basically, the non-citizen nationals are state citizens. That's what that is. All right? Because it said permanent allegiance to the United States. Let me prove it. All right? It says here, let's go to, this is the North Carolina Constitution, state constitution. And let's go to section, in a second, I have to find it. I always forget the number. I don't think I went there. Oh, here it is. Not section 5. Allegiance to the United States. Every citizen of this state owes paramount allegiance to the Constitution and government of the United States, and no law or ordinance of the state in contravention or subversion thereof can have any binding force. So it's telling you, if you're considering yourself a state citizen, you are basically a U.S. citizen, or you owe allegiance to the United States. Okay? So, is this really what they're trying to give you? Certificates of non-citizen nationality? You have to think in reverse when you're dealing with the government. Right? You have to think in reverse. Okay, let's keep reading, because it will get clearer as I go on. Section 308 INA confers U.S. nationality but not U.S. citizenship on persons born in an outlying possession of the United States or born of a parent or parents who are non-citizen nationals who meet certain physical presence or residence requirements. The term outlying possessions of the United States is defined in Section 101A29 of the INA as American Samoa and Swans Island. No other statutes define any of the territories or any of the states as outlying possessions. So they're saying all of those are non-citizen nationals, those people from those territories. In addition, in Section 308 of the INA, Section 302 of Public Law 94-241 provides for certain inhabitants of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands who became United States citizens by virtue of Article 3 of the Covenant to opt for non-citizen national status. See requirements of Section 302. Now, when it comes to this island, they said they can opt for non-citizen national status. Basically, they're taking them from a national to a non-citizen national, i.e., they become a U.S. citizen. So you have to think in reverse. See, when you're just looking at this word and you're making an assumption, you're thinking this is a good thing. This is not. All right? Let's keep going. As the department has received few requests, there is no justification for the creation of a non-citizen national certificate. So they're not going to give you a certificate. They're not going to create a separate certificate. But you don't want a non-citizen national certificate anyway. Designing a separate document that includes anti-fraud mechanism was seen as an inefficient expenditure of resources. Therefore, the department determined that those who would be eligible to apply for such a certificate may instead apply for a United States passport that would delineate and certify their status as a national. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. A national, but not a citizen of the United States. So they came to this one paragraph right here to let you know what you was looking for. Right? So you want to do a process that will have you delineated in their system as a national but not a citizen of the United States. Because you notice up there, they didn't define this. They did say national is someone who owes allegiance to a state, meaning to a status, who they are. Right? Okay, let's keep going. Trickery keeps going. If a person believes he or she is eligible under the law as a non-citizen national of the United States and the person complies with provision of Section 341B of the INA, 8 U.S.C. 1452B, he or she may apply for a passport at any passport agency in the United States. When applying, applicants must execute a Form DS-11, show documentary proof of their non-citizen national status as well as their identity. So what is this documentary proof that you're going to show? Your birth certificate, right? So let's go to the DS-11 real quick. I need to show you something real quick. I went over this in the other video. Let me just check in, make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all with me? Y'all following?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Here you go.
All right.
Yep.
Not again. I want to show you something real quick. All right. Here's the DS-11. Let's blow it up. All right. Let's go down, straight down to where you have to sign and you put your oath. All right. It says right here, I declare under penalty and perjury all the following. I am a citizen or a non-citizen national of the United States and have not since acquiring U.S. citizenship or nationality performed any of the acts listed under acts and conditions on page 4 of the instructions of this application, unless explanatory statements is attached. This just told you, without me reading the rest, that if you fill this application out and do not have your explanatory statements or your specifying acts and conditions, anything that applies to you, you have just signed your name as a non-citizen national or a citizen of the United States. So yeah, get the certificate of non-citizen national. The non-citizen national is just getting the passport as you would fill it out normally. That's the delineation. Because you did not put your explanatory statements with it and let them know that you was a national but not a citizen of the United States. See, they're very slick in how they word things, so they make you think that's what you need to go for, but what you're really going for is another name for U.S. citizenship. That's it. I have talked to many of the gurus and we were trying to show them, and they do not get it. They and they still stuck. And you go look at their paperwork, they're sticking that in there. And I just showed you in their rules that that's not what you want. Okay? Now let's keep going. Let's go back to the form, to the website, the passport website. It says Section 341 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, B, a person who claims to be a national, see, we're seeing this again, but not a citizen of the United States may apply to the Secretary of State for a certificate of non-citizen national status. Right? Upon proof to satisfaction of the Secretary that the applicant is a national but not a citizen of the United States, and 2, in the case of a non-citizen national born outside of the United States or its outlying possession taken and subscribing before an immigration officer within the United States or its outlying possession to the oath of allegiance required of an applicant for naturalization. See, they even playing trickery again. They're going back and forth between national and non-citizen national status. You're not looking for that. You're looking to be a national but not a citizen of the United States. Here we go again. Section 101A.21 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, the term national, it doesn't say non-citizen national, means a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. Section 101A.29 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, the term outlying possessions of the United States means American Samoa and Swains Island. So they give you these little definitions to throw you off to make you think that none of this applies to you. Section 101A.36 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, the term state includes the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands of the United States. Section 308 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, unless otherwise provided in Section 301 of this title, the following should be nationals, but not citizens of the United States at birth. A person born in an outlying possession of the United States on or after the date of formal acquisition of such possession. 2, A person born outside the United States and its outlying possessions of parents whom are nationals but not citizens of the United States and have had residence in the United States or one of its outlying possessions prior to the birth of such persons. 3. A person of unknown parentage found in an outlying possession of the United States while under the age of 5 years until shown prior to the attaining the age of 21 years not to have been born in such outlying possessions. And 4, a person born outside the United States and its outlying possessions of parents, one of whom is an alien and the other is a national, but not a citizen of the United States, who, prior to the birth of such person, was physically present in the United States or its outlying possessions for a period totaling not less than 7 years in a continuous period of 10 years. A, during which the national parent was not outside the United States or its outlying possessions for a continuous period of more than 1 year, and B, at least 5 years of which after attaining the age of 14 years. The proviso of Section 301G shall apply to national parents under this paragraph in the same manner as it applies to the citizen parent under that section. Now, see, this is very confusing because a lot of people say, well, where do I fit in? Where do I fit in? You would fit right here. Number 4, a person born outside the United States and is outlying possession of parents whom is an alien or other national but not a citizen of the United States. Why is that? Because the states are countries. So if you're born in your state, you have a state birth certificate, you was born outside the United States. Right there. And you can also make a case for number 2 as well. But more so it's number 4. All right. Let's go to Section 302 of Public Law 94-241. This is a very important section. And they put the most important section at the bottom. And you should read that public law. And any person becomes a citizen of the United States solely by virtue of the provisions of Section 301 applying to those born in or residing in the Northern Mariana Islands. Now, right here, the four corner rule applies because they got this in brackets. This is the only place you'll see it in this document. Hang on. Right here. So you act like that's not there. So you would read this like this. Any person who becomes a citizen of the United States solely by virtue of provision in Section 301 may within 6 months after the effective date of that section or within 6 months after reaching the age of 18 years, whichever date is later, become a national but not a citizen of the United States by making a declaration under oath before any court established by the Constitution or laws of the United States or any other court of record in the Commonwealth in the form as follows. I, your name, being duly sworn, hereby declare my intentions to be a national but not a citizen of the United States. See how precise that is? This is why in my paperwork I have these statements, because this is the formal renunciation. So what you're doing is when you go into have your passport done, you get that document notarized, you just did a formal declaration of your national status. And if you want to take it even further, a lot of courts take passport applications. You can go to the court of record and do your passport. Because it's telling you right here. Any other court of record in the Commonwealth in the form as follows. There it is. So it's you want to be a national but not a citizen of the United States. The non-citizen national certificate is the actual passport. And now if you fill it out the regular way that everybody else fills it out, you got you a non-citizen national certificate showing that you're a U.S. citizen. But if you fill it out the way I teach, you're going to have documentary proof that you are national but not a citizen of the United States. And that's what you're looking for. So that's it for that. I'll open the mics up for questions. All right, anybody got a question? Questions? Just blurt it out. Let me see the chat doing.
Keith.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear.
For sure.
Keith.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah. All right.
Who just said I can?
I'm sorry, that was me. Hey, yeah, Kim, I'm a listener. Peace to God. I just signed up and ordered your firearms program
Oh,
and your.
you're a little broken up. I
Okay.
cannot
You're
understand what
quiet.
you're saying. You gotta. Oh,
I go to say it more.
okay. There you go.
Thought well, that might work.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah, that's too big. Yeah.
hold on. Let me mute.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Who was that was asking the question?
Hi, was sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, sir. I'm a former U.S. military soldier. You know, I had to sign that contract. I did 18 years. And yeah, I signed a contract stating that I was U.S. property.
Right.
Now that I'm out, I got blown up in a theft and I'm receiving benefits.
Not a U.S. citizen, right?
If I change my nationality, will I lose? Do you think I'll lose all those benefits?
Nah, you're not gonna lose those benefits. I doubt that because all of those benefits are going to the straw man. And as you know, that's just a piece of paper. So what you're doing is taking your natural self outside of being looked at as a U.S. citizen, but that piece of paper is always going to be a U.S. citizen. See? That's the entity. The problem is people are identifying with paper and saying, that's me. It's not you. You're not a piece of paper. You're not a name on a paper. See, that's the trick. So you should still be able to get your benefits and everything by separating yourself. Because if you look at my affidavit, it always says last name, comma, first name, doing business as. So you letting them know you're doing business as that entity.
Roger.
That's not you. You see?
Roger, because I just applied for the national passport as well, following your guidelines from your June 4th blog talk radio. So I did my explanatory, and I put, other than putting the statement that I declare blah, 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 you know, I'm a national citizen, I put some other statements on there quoting from the GPO manual, style manual, stating that this is what I'm classified. I highlighted it, added it to my explanatory, ended up with, and then, of course, crossed out what I needed to cross out, and sent that up. So I'm hoping that'll work.
In your situation, just what may happen, and it happens. I've done other people who were in the military, and they would send a letter just to test you, saying that, hey, based on the documents of your birth, you are a U.S. citizen. But then they'll tell you in the next breath, just tell us you want us to get the passport, right? But they're not making you redo the application, not making you redo the application or the contract. All you got to do is say, hey, send me my passport, and they'll send it to you. That's usually what happens with people who are in the military or have some high security clearance. That's what I've seen. They'll send out one letter saying, hey, based on the facts surrounding your birth, you are a U.S. citizen. But we can't argue with you about that. So just tell us, do you want this passport, yes or no? And you just tell them yes, and they send it. You know, as long as you don't have to read the application, the contract, then you're fine. It's when they tell you, hey, you're a U.S. citizen, and we need you to redo this application, then they're trying to really take you out of your national status. But
Roger that. I appreciate that because that's where I'm at, because I still do have my high security clearance, and at the time I followed the copper mill guys passport. I mean, I did put my social in, but I followed the rule-free delivery.
Yeah, that's fine.
Check no, what we need to check no, and I did the silver bullet at that time, thinking that I would be on a do not detain list, do not stop, do not interrogate.
I've heard people who've done that process. They've gotten, they've gotten pulled over. I talked to a guy last week. Actually, he said he did that process, gotten pulled over. He did notice a change, but the only issue I have with that process, you didn't let him know specifically who you was based off of what I just showed you. You have to,
Roger that.
you know, if you don't have to, because the application tells you need explanatory statements with it. You know.
Correct, and that's why I'm redoing. That's why I redid it after
Yeah.
listening to your June. I think it was June 4th. You had the little seminar. So I redid the application and I submitted it through the court, like you said, through the court versus going through the post office.
Right. That's the new way I've added on because when you read these things over and over, you start to see stuff that you might have missed. So you taking that affidavit, notarized right in front of there, taking an oath that you're a national but not a citizen of the United States. Because one of the questions they ask you is, is everything in this document true and correct? And you say yes.
Correct. Yes, sir. Yeah, the county clerk was kind of looking at me kind of weird. He made a statement, and I'm like, no worries, I know what I'm doing. Just for me.
Right. Yeah. What I do with that is when I get that type of pushback, I just say, hey, I'm just following directions on there. If the directions say do this, that's what I'm doing. So,
Roger, sir. I appreciate your time.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And I'll be ordering more stuff. I still got more stuff to order.
Okay. AkeemL.com got everything you need. AkeemL.com. I'll put it in the chat. Anybody else got a question?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah,
Hello? Monogon.
go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who is that? What's the name? I'm trying to locate you because I got to get rid of some of the background noise. Some people got,
Brother Bay.
Okay. All right. Got you. Go ahead.
If I could let the previous brother know that he would not lose any benefits, anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be good.
Yeah, I doubt it. They're not gonna lose. I got a guy who got high level of security. He got his, and he's
So how do you use your passport to drive without a driver's license?
How do you use it? You just give them the passport. You need to get the passport card. That's what people do. They use the actual passport card. So I've never done that, so I can't really give you experience on that. I just go off what people have told me. And I've only had one confirmed person that I did a consultation said he's used it, his card, and like he's a truck driver, so he uses driver's license while he's driving the truck, and he uses his passport card when he's driving. He don't even keep his driver's license with him when he's driving in his private capacity. He says it's worked for him every time. Now that's hearsay. That's what he's told me. So, all right. Anybody else?
Well, yeah. Isn't the passport a valid document for travel?
Of course.
Because it says
passport.
The passport is a limited travel document valid for land and sea travel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look up the word valid, it says of binding force, a deed, will, or other instrument which has received all the formalities required by law.
Right. You're right.
So that's telling you can use that to travel, because we don't drive, we travel. So you can use that as your driver's license, because it's saying all the formalities required by law, not by legalese, by law.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we travel, we don't drive. That's the technical terms, but let's be real. A lot of these officers don't even know the difference. So when you start talking that to them on the side of the road, they're going to look at you like you got two heads. So that's
true.
You're going to have to fight off in court if he does give you a citation. You know what I'm saying? So, but people have given out that if I was to drive with my passport only, I would make sure I have an IDP with it.
Okay.
Huh?
So if you got pulled,
That's money?
I said we got different money on their card.
Okay.
Let me shut this here down. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all.
okay. So I do have an IDP, but I use both. I use my IDP and my passport card.
Right. That's how I would do it. I would have both of them together. Have the international driving pit because a passport is really for all travel, domestic and
Yeah,
foreign. Right. So if you have an
right.
international driving permit to connect with that, because when you go to another country, they're gonna want an IDP. Some countries require
Exactly.
you to have an IDP. With that, and if you look at the old ancient documents, people traveled by way of passport. The reason why they
Right.
carry the passport is because they had to be allowed on certain waters while they were doing commerce. Passports were created to do commerce with.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I got an agreement with this country to pass through these waters, through these ports. Yeah. And if you didn't have that, they could seize your vessel.
Exactly.
So that's what it was back in the day. They have transformed. They made us all vessels by saying we had to have a passport. Before 9/11, you didn't need to travel with a passport to go to other countries. You just brought your birth certificate, which proves that your real passport document is the birth certificate. Isn't that what you got to submit to them to prove where you're from before they even issue that book?
Yes, sir.
They only created that whole force people into the passport book after 9/11. Said you have to have this in order to travel. I'm like, why? What's the difference? Because if I have a birth certificate and I go and to get on a plane, I'm going international. I show them that birth certificate. It says where I was born, and all you got to do is type the information. You can find any information on me. So even to have the reason why they forcing everybody into the passport because it was making everybody a U.S. citizen or a quasi U.S. citizen. And as I read there, go get this non-citizen certificate. But I just showed you that's the same thing as a U.S. citizen. See, the only way you can get out of being looked at as a U.S. citizen, you had to give them your explanatory statements, plus do what they ask you to do in acts and conditions, fill out the application a specific way. Now, okay, this person is a national, but not a citizen of the United States. Now, I talked to someone who got their certified documents back. And on there in red, they wrote that they got their passport, no problem, but they wrote sovereign citizen on it there. Now, she looked at it as a negative. I said, that's not a negative. They wrote that on there and they gave you your passport. They're letting you know that you are exempt from all of these codes and statutes. Right there on your certified document, they wrote that in the red, in the area where's the application at? It's in this area right here at the bottom, if y'all can see that screen. Right in here, where it says naturalizations, birth certificate, and all that, they wrote that in there. So she was
wow.
call them and ask them what this means. I said you can call them, but they gave you a certified document telling you you're sovereign. Now you can look at that as a negative. I see it as a positive. It just depends on how you present it. They just told me I was sovereign. Look, they wrote that on my document. They didn't say sovereign citizen. This is a bad thing. They just said sovereign citizen, and they wrote it in red. Yep. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. She was ready to call them. She was all upset. I was like, man, I said, you can call them, but listen, you got your they didn't if they thought it was a negative, you would not have gotten your passport, number one. Number two, you can interpret that the way you want to interpret it. And tell them, hey, they told me I was sovereign. Look, I got a certified copy of this. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Whoever's that, Kevin or Mike, if you want, it's an affidavit I got with my passport. hell? Oh. That Al A-Bay, you got a lot of background noise, brother. Oh.
I got you.
All right. I have a specific document that I created that has been causing student loans to go away. Doesn't happen 100% of the time, but it's happened a lot. So people do it their way, but they're not getting the same results that I've been getting. So just letting you know, you can do it. Make your own affidavit. But the way I got my affidavit written, it has been causing some nice things to happen. So, correction of the SS5, correction of the driver's license, and is one other thing. And correcting your birth certificate. Getting them, because some of y'all have birth certificates that say Negro and Black on it. You got to get that stuff off. So if you have a certified copy of your application that you submitted showing that you was a national but not a citizen of the United States, now you can go into court and have them correct that and say, listen, I'm not that. That's a mistake. A lot of times they'll say, well, we don't have jurisdiction, or we don't have jurisdiction to do that, or we can't do it. And you're letting them know you're doing it under your religious instructions and belief. See, that's how my affidavit is structured. It's all structured around your God-given rights, which they cannot infringe on. All right. Any other questions?
No, just I called my vital statistics in Illinois and asked them regarding the nationality, and they said they don't put any of that stuff on there because even when I looked on my live birth certificate, basically all they did was photocopy it onto the bond certificate, and it doesn't mention if I'm Caucasian, Latino, Native American. There's nothing out there.
Okay, that's the trickery. It won't say it on a lot of birth certificates, but you got to remember, in order to get a birth certificate, you had to fill out a registration form, and it asked those specific questions. So all of that information was typed into a computer and logged somewhere. You need to get that biographical data corrected. You got to start from where it started. It all started when it was filled out. And from then on, you was running around acting, pretending to be a U.S. citizen when you weren't. Because people said, or they gave you the only option to fill out was, yes, I'm a U.S. citizen. So when your mom filled that birth certificate out, it's there. It's just not on your certificate where you can see it. Now, I've seen people where it's actually written on their certificate. The older generation, it'll say colored, like my aunt, hers say Negro on it. You see? And I've seen some people in their 50s, around 50, 60, they'll say those things right on the birth certificate. So it's on that record. They're just trying to play games like it's not. But what you want to do is attach what you call an addendum to that record. Say, hey, I need to attach this to the permanent record of that birth certificate stating that I'm not that. You just want to get that on the record. All right? Well,
right, will that also happen because I sent my another authenticated birth certificate to be recorded at my vital statistics because I made 3, so authenticated birth certificate. So I sent one off to the county recorders in Illinois for them to record it with the affidavit of ownership.
All right.
And then I sent another one without with the affidavit of ownership, but not recorded with my passport.
Okay, that's good. Now you just put it on the record who you are. So no one can come back and say that you're not that. All right.
Roger.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, King.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you have a copy of the paperwork, like your doctor records that you get from the hospital on the day, like I got my doctor records when I was born from the hospital, and it tells you everything at the time you was born, and it does, like mine says Negro, and I'm under 50. So wouldn't I be able to take that record in there?
Yeah.
To show that I got proof coming from the hospital?
Yep, you can use that. Yes, that's proof showing that they registered you that way.
Right, and then go in court
Go
and
ahead.
get my nationality changed, right?
Yep. Now you can also go to the. You can correct the records of the hospital that you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
you
go back to
can.
the hospital and say, listen, there was some data y'all got in the computer that's incorrect. I need to update this. And say, hey, can
Okay,
you put this in your records and show that who I am? Right. You can do that.
and just do the affidavit. Do the affidavit and put it on the record.
Yes.
Religious, yeah, I got
Yep.
you. Hey, and if you're
My
dealing
whole
with that,
thing is dealing
your
with.
passport.
Hold on. My whole thing is you got to get everything, all of those presumptions out of the way, all of them.
Mhm.
Someone I talked to a while back made me realize that hey, there's a lot of presumptions out there,
Yeah.
and we have to correct that. Even if you have, say, if you have school age children that's in school, make sure those records are corrected. And making sure you have on file that you have religious objections to all of these immunizations that they require them to go to school with. You understand? So
Nope.
it's a lot of work.
Okay.
So
Would that go? Would that document that I have from the hospital like go coincide with your was your biographical form?
right,
The way that you do it with.
that's what you're correcting. You're correcting the biographical data that they have listed in their system.
Okay.
Because everybody's
All
got
right.
biographical data. Who you are. See, they might even have the blood type, or on there on file.
They do. They do.
They might have all that. So you're just correcting the most important part as what your nationality is. That's what you want to do.
Hey, did you hear something that they sometimes they put your blood types incorrect as well when they do those records?
Yeah, because if they put your blood type is correct, then they'll know what tribal affiliation that you are. So they gotta change up the blood types. Because when
Mm,
the whole reason why they take blood from the child immediately is to connect you with who you, because they know most of us here are indigenous, right? We were always here.
right.
So they're
Right.
testing that blood to see who you're connected to, and then they misentering the information so that you don't connect to that lineage.
Right.
You see,
Right.
so
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I
even
definitely
trust the
believe that,
blood
and I
types
can
that they
see that.
have in the system. You know, as to who you are, I wouldn't trust anything that they're doing because the very first thing they do is snatch the child away from the mother. She don't even get real time with the child right away. Sometimes they'll let them, but they go and take that child off to a whole nother room.
Yep.
And then after she's rested, they give her back, but they done did all their little tests. They done did everything. You don't know what they do
Okay.
when they out of sight. So,
Man,
I
it's
mean,
a
I
great
would
show, man.
that if somebody's about to have a kid, that driver's license webinar, it says that, but it also comes with a template to go with filling out the birth registration form.
Okay. Yeah, that driver's license. I don't know. I think you said that they changed that up. They got smart to that now.
Nah, they still let you do it. I ain't have no problems. It's some people have um have difficulty getting it done, but I've hadn't had any problems, so I don't know of any real difficulty.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem because I got a friend of mine that works. She works at the DMV, and she was telling me that you can just go ahead and do that. And if they give you problems, then you're supposed to holler at the manager.
Right, right.
So,
Just some people just they might meet some belligerent rep, that think they own the place. So they don't allow. Give me a second, because people always want to interrupt you while you're working. Um, you got some people who think they own the DMV, all these places. They've been working there all these years. They know everything, and they're gonna act like a gatekeeper. You just gotta. What I do is I try to push through that person, then I leave and come back and get somebody else. But you know, you get it if you really want to get it done. You get it done. Don't let them. Here's the thing that I I'll give y'all a warning. Remember, when you go and apply for your passport, these people that are taking the application are ignorant as to what you know. So that's not the time to try to educate them. Like, for instance, someone was doing a passport and they would read, they got to give you the oath. And I think in the oath it was saying you are a U.S. citizen, but he didn't let the woman finish. Oh, she said, well, I'm not a U.S. citizen. I can't take that oath. She's only reading what she's been told to read. You're signing and you're putting an explanatory statement saying that you're not. She's submitting your application. She's not the one who's going to give you the passport. It's the people at the passport place that's going to give you the passport. So you don't got to sit there and argue with her about what she's saying. Just sign off, put all rights reserved, keep it moving. But people give themselves problems because they think too much about how they're getting it done. You're getting past the little gatekeeper, get your application into the system.
Hey, Akeem, quick question. Can you send that letter that you sent to the commissioner of the DMV when they give you a hard time?
Yeah, I have the letter. I'll send it to you, Oren.
Okay, thanks, man.
The only reason why Oren is getting it because he went through the process through me. So anybody that didn't go through the process through me does not get that. So don't email me, hey, Akeem, can I get that? No. I work with him personally. So that's why he's able to get it like that. Just I have to put that out there. So I'll get 1,000 emails. Yo, let me get that. No, if you've done the passport process with me, you get those things. All right. And the continued support after the fact. All right. Just letting y'all know.
Appreciate that.
All right. No problem. All right. Anybody else? Got 6 minutes. Got 6 minutes. No, that's it. I get to get off. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
One thing.
No, you don't. Okay.
One thing, King. I'm gonna test that passport out. Traveling. We'll see how that works. I'll let you know.
All right. Let me know. His brother.
Okay.
Now you did your passport through me, right?
I went to the actual seminar, but I made my own affidavits up and whatnot.
Yeah, he did that. He came to the seminar. He learned how to do it. All right.
Right.
All right. All right. Anybody else? All right. All right. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, my show is tonight at 7 p.m. blogtalkradio.com, Hindsight 2020 / Hindsight 2020. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.